Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday night testimonial and review for our X39 stem cell activation patches. So excited to have you here tonight. We have a great 30-minute presentation of real people with real testimonials. That will be the first 15 minutes, and then we'll have 15 minutes on the technology and how this works. So thank the person who brought you here, because in 30 minutes, you will learn so much. Of course, LifeWave is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any diseases. And with that, Susan, let's go ahead and unmute yourself. And let's just make sure everything works. I'll go ahead and ask you to, there you go.
Hello.
Oh, that's perfect. Hello. And Susan, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you learned about LifeWave, what life was like before you learned about LifeWave, and what has been happening to you now?
I was introduced to LifeWave patches by Gary Perrott back in October, around October 13th. I was having a lot of things happening. Actually, about that time, I prayed about something to come into my life because I was lethargic, no sleep, no cess for life. Then I also had problems with my Weimer, had gotten sick and so forth. So just kind of give you a brief history on me a little bit, if you don't mind. This is me in 2006, just let you know. I'm always worked out. Did you see that?
Yeah, make it closer, get it real close to the screen. Down a little bit and in. That's perfect. That was you in what year?
2006.
Okay, in 2006, yes.
Yeah, and that's about the time my father had passed away, but I also had taken the flu shot. And with the flu shot, I experienced swelling, teeth hurting, muscle joints hurting stuff, and it went away. Didn't think anything of it. So as I progressed over the years, I started getting other symptoms, which was strange, and I'll explain right now, but this is what I wound up looking like in 2013.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You don't even look like the same person right there between
exactly. That's what you call symptoms of acromegaly.
What is that?
Gigantism. Yeah. So you get to looking like a magoo. You see your hands. If you see the hands, and that's, I'm making a point here. My hair was, I had a lot of hair, but it's just a lot of growth hormones. It's very interesting journey.
Why did that happen?
I don't know. Nobody knows. It's a rare disease, is what they say. But I have my thoughts on that it probably started with the flu vaccine, but I can't say that. So
yeah. Wow.
Now I want you to look at my hands.
Okay.
Now, totally different. And my hands looked like that until October. After I started the patches, my hands have been.
Put your hand up next to the picture. Put your picture up.
Well, it's.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just a more normal hand now.
Yeah. Oh, it's getting better and better. So that's just one of the things with acromegaly. Acromegaly, symptoms of it is you get all kinds of symptoms. So I've come up with, over the years, well, in 2013, around that time, I had the transphonoidal surgery, which they go up underneath the mouth all the way up to between your eyes to cut out the pituitary tumor, which is next to the pituitary.
Is the pituitary tumor part of the disorder that starts to grow?
Yeah. And it messes with your stomach, it messes with everything. My hands would feel like radiators.
What do you mean by that? Feel like radiators, just hot all the time?
Hot all the time. My arms would hurt at night. I couldn't sleep. I had to start wearing braces to sleep. My period went haywire. I couldn't swallow. I mean, I'd be stuck trying to swallow. Heart palpitations, skin got just really rough. kind of like Andre the Giant and Abraham Lincoln. They had acromegaly.
People are asking on chat if you could spell that for people, or spell it in chat, or maybe someone could look that up and spell it in chat for people, or can you spell that?
It's acromegaly.
Okay.
So back then I had the surgery, and of course I didn't get it all right. So for the rest of my life, every 8 weeks, I have to take this.
What's that?
It's an injection.
What does that do?
Put synthetic growth hormones in my system, so I balance out, so I don't morph every month.
And
Every
so
8 weeks.
they were taking that tumor out to try to stop that, but they didn't get that out right. And so it's a hormonal, the hormone's still out of control.
Right, and it didn't fix it. That never does with anybody that has the disease or the surgery. Never does.
The surgery has never righted it.
No, not anybody that's had the surgery.
Well,
It
so
never
now,
helped
so
them.
you take an injection every 8 weeks to try to get something to balance out the hormones to slow down the growth. Am I understanding that right?
Yeah, that's correct. And the problem is that I'm on a 10-year mark, and at about that time, it just doesn't seem to start working anymore. But it never did work. I get sick and your organs grow, your bones deform, you just gain weight. It affects everything in your body, your heart, your organs, your eyesight, everything. And so I've been having all kinds of problems. Blood pressure started up, I think June of last year. They're going to put me on blood pressure medicine. I've been doing all kinds of research for all kinds of alternatives, medicines, and so forth. I got osteopenia, pre-diabetic. Lymphatic was just, you could bounce a quarter off my stomach. That's how big it was getting. And just tough, and just hard to do anything. I'm sorry, I guess I need water, but I'll wait.
So tell me now, this has been happening since, when were you diagnosed with this? In 2008, is that correct?
2013.
Oh, in 2013. And
Mhm.
so, and just in October, this year, October,
Yeah.
November, December, like 3 months ago, you were introduced to the X39. You
Mhm.
started wearing this patch, and already you just have noticed that your hands have come down.
Yep.
What else is happening? And what do you
Oh.
think is going on here with you?
Well, when I started the patches, I started on the Aeon and the X39 in Alavida. Immediately at night, I was sleeping. Well, I'd wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock every morning. Before that, couldn't sleep. The Alavida took care of that. I know 3 o'clock in the morning one time, I woke up and my spine went whoop, and I straightened out.
You woke up and your spine straightened.
I straightened out. I felt it. It was just like whoop. In the first 2 weeks.
In the first 2 weeks, your spine, you woke up in the middle of the night and your spine straight.
Yeah.
That's insane. What else has been happening?
Oh my gosh. Well, the blood pressure medicine they tried to put me on in June of 2021. I had another physical in November of 2021, and she took me off for the blood pressure.
So you don't need the blood pressure medicine anymore. That stabilized.
Right.
Huh.
My bone density kept getting worse and worse every year. I had a bone density at the end of November test, and it came back, I'm improving.
What does that mean, bone density? Would your bones get too dense as you're getting because of you growing? Like, it's the opposite of what most of us probably worry about, right?
Right. I get brittle and it'll break.
You get brittle and it will break. And so for you, your bone density test got into normal range the other direction.
It started recovering. I've got osteopenia.
You have osteopenia. So you actually have, so osteopenia is is not, that's not dense bone. Is that correct?
Well, it's leading towards osteoporosis, which is dense bone.
Okay, which is,
Yeah,
okay.
which you eventually osteoporosis can get so bad you just break by just touching. My
So
mother had that.
that osteoporosis is like weak bone, right? So you were moving towards having weak bones that were gonna break, and now you're back into normal range.
I'm heading that back to normal.
Heading back into normal range. Okay, I just have to say for a moment, spine straightens, no blood pressure medicine, osteopenia moving back to normal range. So she's not worrying about her bones going to break.
No, not at all.
She's sleeping through the night and her hands aren't like deformed anymore. Let's look at your hands one more time. I mean, they look normal to me now, Susan.
They're getting there. There's still a little bit more to go. My eyesight's getting better. I can now see 12 feet, the TV, the writing on there, as of Thanksgiving Day.
So you couldn't see. This particular disease takes everything away, takes everything.
Yeah, cataracts. Oh yeah, it takes everything. It just starts deteriorating everything.
So these stem cells, the X39 and the Eon, so the Eon reduces inflammation, and Leah will talk more about all of this. The stem cells reactivate your stem cells. Stem cells are the only cells in your body that are changeable. They can change into whatever cell you need for repair. And I think what's happening with Susan is that army's a marching, and there's a lot of stuff to repair, and it just keeps going.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, I bought the those three, and then within 3 days, I researched the other ones and bought everything but Silent Night. And I started using them all, and I know how to muscle test, so I muscle tested, and so I used energy enhancer for the eyesight, and then the SB6, and also energy enhancer for the lymph nodes, because my skin was so tight you could bounce a quarter off. Look what's happening here. I can now, and my body now is reforming in the hourglass.
It's going back to normal.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Back to normal.
I'm on my 3rd month.
Well, just wait. What's going to happen on month 6, baby?
I know. I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
yeah.
I would love it if you would come back in month 6, month 9, and month 12. We would love to see your body reshape back to normal. And we are so thankful that you shared your story with us. We're going to move back to Linda. Do you have just one more thing before we move? Yes, go ahead.
Yes. My Weimaraner. I dragged him to the vet about the same time that was happening. The vet told me he was going to have to be put to sleep the next week. I started him on the patches. This is November. He's walking. Right now, he looks healthier than he's ever been. I took him back to the vet on November. 1 month later, he said, "This is not the same dog, is it?" I said, "Oh, yes, it is." He said, "I didn't expect him to live." And so I just had to add that.
Wow, these patches are for you and your pets. Why not all live longer, healthier lives? Susan, thank you for your honesty. This is not an easy thing that you have gone through from 2006 to 2013. Such a change in quality of life for you. And then starting just 3 months ago in October to see your body shifting back. I mean, it's just a miracle, honey. And thank you for sharing. You're going to help so many people with this testimonial.
That's my goal. That's my goal. I've got something to give to my community and my support groups now.
Yes, you do. Susan, thank you for sharing. We're going to move to Linda now. So Linda, tell me a little bit about who you heard about the patches from, and what was going on with you before X39, and what's happened to you now?
So I was actually in the field of biologics, and I was working as a medical rep, selling inventions in wound care, being able to take a little piece of the skin and create more skin to cover severe burns and severe wounds and amniotic fluid injection. So I was already reading about stem cells. And then I got Tony Robbins' latest book, because I did Unleash the Power Within, this life force. And he brings all these world-renowned doctors together, and they're talking about the future of human health and longevity. And it was all about stem cells and how stem cells are going to cure cancer and Alzheimer's and all kinds of things. And everyone's trying to figure out how to harness the power of stem cells for healing. And then it was not long after that, like maybe even just a few weeks, that a friend of mine told me about these patches. And I was like, oh, this is no coincidence. I'm supposed to know about these patches. And so I just said, give me a 90-day supply. I just wanted to get them. And she introduced me to you. And so I was like, I like Marci. She's amazing. I want to work with her. So I got the patches, and you know, I really wasn't thinking about anything really about my health that I thought that I needed, because you know how you get used to how you feel and then you start to think of it as normal and you sort of not notice it. And so when I got the patches, but I did have pain in my left hip for like at least a couple years. And I did acupuncture, and I did physical therapy, and I did personal training, and I did chiropractic, and I do yoga, and it all helped, but it didn't really take the pain away. So my first day, I put the X39 on the base of my neck, because I didn't know. I just ordered a 90-day supply of X39. And within a few hours, I felt some heat in my left hip, and I thought, that's kind of interesting. But then I thought, I don't know if it's really the patches or not. But the next morning when I went to the gym and I did my stretches for the first time, and I don't even remember, I had no pain in my hip at all. And so for me, that was a huge, I was really blown away, because I really hadn't experienced that, because it really was quite a lot of pain. I just got used to living with it. So that really blew me away. And I also was noticing when I would sleep at night, like I couldn't lay on my left side because it made my hip hurt. But I also couldn't put one, lay on my side and put one leg on top of the other, one foot on top of the other, because it would make my feet hurt. And so I thought, oh no, I've got some kind of inflammation going on in my body, and I had to separate my feet. I couldn't do that. And I don't know how long it took into wearing the patches, because, I'm not very good at tracking. I will admit that. So maybe a month, I don't know. But I thought, oh, I'm going to try laying on my side, no pain in my hip, putting one leg on top of the other, one foot on top of the other, and no pain in my feet. So that was a big deal, because it was something that was really starting to worry me. And it hasn't come back. I don't feel the inflammation when I wake up in the morning. I definitely feel more energy. I feel more sharper focus. And then the fun thing, right? It's because collagen is the most, abundant protein in your body. And of course, this is going to regenerate the collagen in your body and all your tissue. And I was going home for my 40th high school class reunion. And my brother happened to come. We all came to my mother's, and my sister-in-law, and she's never bought anything from me. In all the years I've promoted different products. And I was saying, I was telling them about the stem cell activation patches. And I said, I'm not really sure, but I think my skin looks better. And she was like, oh yeah, I can totally tell. She said, I was going to ask if you're microneedling or what you're doing. And on their way back to Georgia, she bought them in the car ride on the way home and sent me 2 referrals. So I had never had an experience like that either. So it's been amazing. But the most amazing thing is, of course, all the healing that I've seen other people have. It's just one after another amazing stories with people with all different kinds of issues. So this is miraculous, and I can't think of anything more fulfilling than helping people feel better and heal.
Yeah, I think that's so amazing that you were in the business of wound healing, reading books on stem cell, and it arrives. Sometimes the patches just find you, right? And then, when you got something good, when your mom notices you, you know what I mean? When it's your mother that says your skin looks good, I want it. Because let's be honest, like that my mom would never, my mom's not like that either. Like for my mom to tell me I look good, right?
Exactly.
And I have to say, like, has your skin always, okay, this is a girl thing, right? So you guys might not get it, but you see how creamy her skin is, ladies? Like, was it always like that? Do you always have that glow and that, that look to your skin?
I would say I have good skin, but this is definitely an up level for sure of where I was. It's definitely creamier. It's definitely smoother. There's definitely, it just, you get that glow after a while. There's just something that happens, and it's amazing. I see it happening to all the people that I'm working with. We're all getting the glow, you know, and the just the younger looking skin. It's amazing.
You know, I think we, at least for me, I started this for a chronic disease. I was more like Susan. And the 3 years later, like my big surprise is how great my skin looks. Like I just didn't realize that we'd all have gorgeous skin in 3 years or 1 year. And it's because stem cells go and they repair what you need fixed first, just like when you were 20, but they also build all your collagen again. And so the great side effect is this gorgeous skin. So Linda, thank you so much for sharing. Let's go over to Leah now, and she's going to explain exactly what this technology is and why Susan and Linda are having such great results.
Yeah, both of those were just, they're off the charts, as they usually are, you guys. We are never cease to be amazed at the testimonials that we hear. And what this technology is that these ladies and probably several hundred of you on the call have found in this technology, you know, you'd mentioned, Linda mentioned in the Tony Robbins book about harnessing the power of our stem cells. Well, you guys, that's exactly what our owner and inventor, David Schmidt, did about 20 years ago. David figured out a way to harness our body's energy and create patches. This is what it looks like. You can see the white part in the center. And it's made up of organic amino acids, salts, and sugar crystals. And it forms a structure inside, and it's embedded in what looks like a piece of silk fabric is what it looks like to me. And it's completely sealed inside of there. You know, Marci had mentioned nothing's going into the body with this technology. And what that crystal structure does is it reforms a reflector, if you will. And when it's applied to your skin, what it does is it harnesses your body heat, that low level infrared heat that we all emit. We're all 98.6 degrees. And if we go outside and look through night vision goggles, we would see all those colors. That's actually what it is using. It's taking that heat, that energy, and reflecting it back into our bodies. And it's creating a specific biophotonic exchange of information between the patch and our body heat. And it's signaling our body to turn our GHK Cu copper peptide back on. And there's a website I'm sure David's going to put in the chat, reverseagingwithghk.com. It's a plethora of information, you guys, over 5,000 studies by Dr. Lauren Picard back 50 years ago on GHK and what GHK benefits have in our body and the things that GHK are helping to ward off different illnesses. And when that GHK activates, one of the things that it does is it activates our body's own stem cells. That's right. You heard it right. It's the stem cells we have in our body that have gone dormant as we age. By age 35, we've lost 50% of our stem cell activity, meaning we don't have those pluripotent stem cells traveling through our body and healing it. And by age 60, which I would think probably most everyone on the call is 60 to 65 over that age, you have about 8 to 10% of the stem cells still in your body trying to heal and repair it. And that's when all of the things start breaking down. What do? You wear this patch for 12 hours on your body. The only thing that you have to do with this patch is you've got to drink water. You guys, hydration is so important, especially when you're patching. But when you can see what a living cell looks like under a microscope, hydrated versus dehydrated, you want those cells fluid. You want all those new stem cells connecting with each other and repairing the liver cells and the kidney cells and all the cells in the body. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off, throw it away, do it again the next day. One of the great things about our product, and I heard the other day, we're not selling a product, we are selling a technology. And this technology, guys, this company has been around for 18 years. We didn't just fall on the market 3 years ago when the X39 stem cell activation patch came out. It's an 18-year-old company. And we're actually here today because of the Navy SEALs. David Schmidt, our inventor and owner of this technology, had done work with the Department of the Defense years earlier. And in 2004, they came back to him wanting him to develop something that would help keep them awake on long missions and cognitive ability without putting anything into their body, because they were amping up on caffeine, amphetamines, anything to stay awake. And you guys, that's a long time to stay awake. And speaking of sleep, sleep is another very important element of patching. We say wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours on, activating those stem cells, getting them all lined up, marching. 12 hours off, that's our repair and regeneration time. That's when we sleep. So if you're getting 3 hours of sleep a night, you might consider trying to get 4 or 5 more hours of sleep. But you guys, just the technology is amazing. We've got 90 clinical studies, another great website, Startx39now.com. We've got 90 double-blind placebo clinical studies. We've got all of the patent information. You guys, we held a 20-year patent on this X39 stem cell activation patch alone. So a couple of ways you can get it. You can buy it retail. You can buy 30 days of X39 stem cell activation patches for $150. You can choose to become a preferred customer. That is getting it for wholesale cost of $99.95, but setting up a 6-month supply auto ship. Or you can choose one of the wholesale options. Our favorite one, most of our clients, is our silver pack. You can mix and match. The person that brought you here or invited you here tonight can send you information on the different wholesale packs available and tell them to send you the health tracker and ask them to send you the patching summary so you can look at all of the products. We've got a lot of great information to help you do your research. And you guys, we hope you want to try it with us and join our community in helping other people heal. So Marci, hopefully everyone, we also have a patching podcast tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. We've got some more great testimonials with the beautiful Laura and Wendy. We hope you can join us. Marci, now I'm going to throw it back to you.
Well, Leah, wow, way to explain the technology. That was great. Thank you so much. And yeah, I think it's really amazing that our owner, inventor, and CEO has been working in this technology for so long, and we now are blessed to have it. So wow, thank you for that perspective. Linda, thank you for coming for your testimony. It was lovely having you. Susan, what a beautiful testimonial you had today as well. Thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate everyone. And thank you for joining us tonight. And just get with the person who brought you here and let them know how you'd like to get started. We promise you will fall in love with this technology just as we have. With that, have a great night, and we will talk to you all later. Lots of love to you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Great call.
Good night.
Bye. Thank you.